tonight to present the winner of the Foreman Medal of Civility Award. Billy, you can This isn't your year, I'm sorry. Okay, the person, shush.
Where's your gavel?
The person, the recipient of the Foreman Civility Award tonight was appointed to the Kansas Court of Appeals on February 29, 2008. She graduated from the University of Kansas with an undergraduate degree in business administration and earned her Juris Doctorate with honors from UMKC Law School, where she was editor-in-chief of the Law Review and Chief Justice of the Appellate Advocacy Program. Upon graduating from law school, Judge Standridge began a 2-year position with the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Missouri, working as Chambers Counsel to the Honorable Elmo Hunter, after which she joined the law firm of Shook, Hardy & Bacon as an associate. While at Shook, this recipient was an active member of the Search Committee, the Pro Bono Committee, and a driving force in creation of the firm's Diversity Subcommittee. She left the firm to work as Chambers Counsel to Magistrate Judge David Waxy, where she stayed until she was appointed to the Court of Appeals. Our nominee has been involved in many professional associations, including the Kansas Bar Association as a district representative on the Board of Governors, and as president of the Earl O'Connor American Inns of Court. She received the Sandra Day O'Connor Award, getting to have breakfast with Sandy, I think is what she calls her, for professional service from the National American Inns of Court in 2004. She was selected as a 2006 Kansas City Legal Leader of the Year from the Daily Record and earned the Outstanding Service Award from the KWAA in 2001. She also received the KWAA Diversity Award in 2017. She currently serves by appointment of the Kansas Supreme Court on the Board of Law Examiners, where she grades bar exams and participates in character and fitness hearings. Now, you've all figured this out by now. This is Judge Melissa Taylor Standridge. She and her husband, Judge Richard Standridge, have a blended family of 6 children. Melissa's husband adopted her 3 children. They adopted their 4th and youngest together, and Melissa raised her husband's 2 children, who are now very successful professionals in New York. Now you know everything you need to know about Judge Standridge, right? No. You do not know what, all you know from what I've just told you is what is on the outside, her professional success, and the fact that she was a foster mother to many children, then adopted a total of 4 of her foster children, the latest being since she's been on the Court of Appeals. The fact that she is a champion of children and of diversity is known to all. But I probably know Missy, as her friends call her, better than anybody in this room. For the last 9 years, I've carpooled with her to Topeka. I have traveled with her around the state and even to Chicago to see Hamilton and elsewhere. I've become the genealogist for her family, and I feel I'm a part of it. I am on the Court of Appeals because she called me out of the blue one day and told me to apply. I told her they would never pick a municipal judge to be on the Court of Appeals, and she, in her very persuasive manner, said that was bullshit. So let me tell you about the Missy you don't know about, that she doesn't talk about, and that makes her so deserving of this Civility Award. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who win battles we know nothing about. Melissa is a battle-tested warrior. When Melissa meets someone, they instantly feel like she's their best friend. She has a way of connecting with people on the most basic level in a way that I have never seen of anyone else in my life, really. And it is not just being gracious and friendly. When she senses someone could use help, she jumps in and helps. And when I say help, I mean help. Let me give you a few examples, and these are just a few of the things that she's done in the 9 years I've worked with her. Her physical therapist called her one day about a young African-American man she knew that had a college degree but could not find a job and was in a deep, deep depression, and she was concerned about him and perhaps self-harm. Melissa met with him for some long talks. He was in a bad financial situation, could not pay his rent. He ended up moving in with Melissa's family for about 1.5 years while he got his feet on the ground, got a job and a car, and she helped him with find both. He'd grown up in poverty, and she knew how to teach him the skills he needed to make it on his own. He's done very well now, and has moved out on his own. Number one. Her son had a friend in high school that needed to live in the district to continue to play basketball. He too had grown up in poverty. She took him into her home, gave him a place to live, food to eat, and again taught him how to navigate the world in a way he had never learned growing up in poverty. He did not always make the right decisions in his quest, but she has been there for him with kindness and tough love when needed. And this is something else you need to know about Melissa. She never judges a person because of their struggles. She just lends them a helping hand. She has helped the biological family members of her children, never preventing them from having contact with their biological families, even though they may have been abusive in the past to them. She understands the need her children feel to connect, and she promotes that in safe ways. And I don't just mean financial assistance, because that's not the primary way she helps people. She counsels them, she helps them navigate high school, college, legal troubles, you name it. Even their biological parents and grandparents have reached out to her for help. They don't always take her counsel, and they don't always succeed, but again, she never judges them, she just helps. When her resume shows her work on promoting diversity, she doesn't just talk the talk, she lives it. She has mentored many young men and women of color through college and law school, and continues to provide guidance and assistance to them this day. We went to Washington, D.C. together once and met with two young men who were very successful professionals now that she knew when they were struggling in Kansas City, and gave them a helping hand. Also moving them in with her for a while, I think. As her kids will say, "Who's living with us today, Mom?" They hugged her and spoke to her like their mother. They were very successful now, and they did not hesitate to let me know that they have Melissa to thank. They talked about her kids like they were their siblings, one big family. She had a group of young professionals from sub-Saharan Africa come to Kansas last year and to K-State to learn about various professional areas. She spoke with them and even gave them a tour of our court in Topeka. One was a young woman with a disability who wanted to help people with similar disabilities in her country. I think it was cerebral palsy, but I can't remember. And the people with cerebral palsy in her country were really forgotten and left to die. Melissa was moved by her story, and that very day started making phone calls, cold calls, really. These were not people she knew. Cold calls to Washington, D.C., and connected the woman with a person at an agency in Washington, D.C., where the group was going next, that could help provide her the necessary funding for her program. It took her a day or two of Melissa's busy life to set this up, but there was never any question that she was going to do it, because she was in a position to help, and she did. It would not surprise me to know that Melissa probably still keeps in contact with that woman. There was the young African-American man who needed a helping hand. I don't remember how the situation came to her attention, and she connected him with a little-known organization through a connection she had that bought him a $5,000 computer to assist him in his college work. That one thing made a huge difference in his life and success. So it doesn't have to be something big, and she has a way of knowing that. I could really go on and on all night. Those are just the stories that came to mind. She has helped neighbors, girlfriends and boyfriends of her children, and their parents with a wide variety of personal problems. Virtually every member of our court has had Melissa meet with our college-age children to help them with interview skills and applications. And once she has helped, you always get the job. I mean, really. Sorry, Melissa, I didn't mean to open you up for business tonight. She has you leaving her meeting with you so confident that you feel you can conquer the world. She spends countless hours simply helping people. She has done this while juggling the stress of raising teenagers that are still working through their own childhood trauma. At 55 years old, still raising a grade schooler, her father's illness and death in the last 12 months, and now her mother's declining health. She is the rock for everyone. In the last few months, she had a cousin going through a very traumatic divorce in California, and she rushed to her side to help her, making sure she got proper legal counsel. When her cousin Benji was missing for several weeks after the 2004 tsunami in Thailand and later declared dead, She was in Chicago with the family, dealing with international organizations and the newspapers and the government trying to find him help. Her best friend from high school had a serious stroke a few months ago, and continues to struggle. Who was at her bedside for 12 to 14 hours straight, every day? Melissa, helping the family figure out what to do next. Melissa has reached out to many members of this organization in this room when she saw they were in need of someone to talk to or someone to help them. She told me once her therapist told her she needed to set boundaries. As my kids would say, no shit, Sherlock. But her heart is so big, she can't set boundaries when she knows she can help someone. I'm serious, she cannot turn away. One of her research attorneys wrote this about her. Judge Standridge particularly excels in mentoring women and minorities. Not only has she mentored me and other research attorneys on the court, but she also constantly makes connections with students and attorneys passing through the court. For example, I have personally observed her create a mentor relationship during an elevator ride. Judge Standridge is known by all to have an open heart and is always willing to sit down and learn more about a person and help him or her on their path. No matter what the path looks like, every major life or career decision I make to this day requires I consult with Judge Standridge. Let me just tell you about today, what she's done today. One, the Dean of Students for Lindsborg, she knows everything about him now. I think she has him in her contact
I
list.
watched her do this yesterday.
Yes, you watched it.
I watched it. She got
His name's Brian.
She got 10 or 15 minutes into the conversation, and she said, "So I'm Melissa," and I thought they'd been friends for 35 years.
That's exactly right. You watched it. You saw it happen. And so K-State is having this sub-Saharan African student program again. And they knew Melissa was here in Lindsborg, and they had a young attorney from Kenya who was here this afternoon, who K-State brought down today to meet with Melissa because they knew how important it would be. She met with Melissa, and she's interested in refugee resettlement. And Melissa set her up with a Jewish refugee resettlement center while she's been here today, watching programs. So through all of this, we can hear and distinguish Judge Standridge's laugh from all others. It is just as heartfelt as everything she does and is contagious. Because she puts everything into everything she does, whether it is having a good time, and believe me, she is great to party with at Funky Town.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I think we
you
need
don't
a definition
know
of
about
that.
Funky Town.
Do
Duets?
ask.
Oh, do ask about Funky Town, yes, so there are pictures. Helping someone in need or writing a scholarly and compassionate legal opinion, I will give you one word of warning. Melissa is a masterful networker. If you meet her, she will walk away knowing a lot about you and have you in her contact list. 2 years later, you will get a call out of the blue inviting you to assist her in helping someone that needs help because she knows that you have just the right background and skills to help. Don't turn her down because I guarantee together you will make someone's life better. Civility is the art and the act of caring for others. Mahatma Gandhi once said, civility does not mean the mere outward gentleness of speech cultivated for the occasion, but an inborn gentleness and desire to do the opponent good. It is not how you treat the rich, the powerful, the protected, and the highly esteemed, but how you treat the poor, the disfavored, and the disadvantaged. That definition fits with Judge Melissa Taylor Standridge, and is why I am so honored to present her with the Carol Foreman Medal of Civility Award on behalf of Kansas State.
I don't Wow.